Whatever phase of life you're in right now, whatever life may throw at you, whether it feels like success or failure, expected or unexpected, I have one message for you. Travel and travel solo.
Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about my experiences traveling solo and how I can maybe help guide you to try it out for yourself one day. I have traveled to over 50 countries and 15 of those countries were solo trips. So I can tell you exactly what you need to do to make your travel dreams come true. I'm gonna talk about how to first off navigate those fears of stepping into the big wide world alone, how to start saving for that trip, how to pack for that trip, how to make your itinerary and your plans, and everything else in between. So if you have any questions about solo traveling that I don't end up covering in this video, go ahead and drop those questions down below. Make sure to subscribe for more weekly videos like this, and let's get into it. I first started traveling solo after graduating college, and that year, my senior year, just like everyone else felt in the class, it was high priority to get a job. And I had been on payroll since I was 15 years old, so I really wasted no time between graduating college and moving to San Francisco, where I then got 2 jobs to be able to afford to live there. After just 3 months of living and working in San Francisco, I realized I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. All I knew that I wanted to do was travel. So I then really impulsively and quickly decided to move out of San Francisco. I took all of my savings, which really wasn't that much at all, and I bought a one-way to Denmark. I had some sort of idea of where I wanted to go, but honestly, I didn't really have a plan. All I knew was that I was just going to land in Copenhagen and figure it out from there. Yes, I was nervous, but mostly I was wondering if I was even making the right life decision. But my best experiences happened from having no plan and figuring it out for myself. For my first solo trip, I ended up being gone for 4 months, traveling through 13 different countries, meeting and traveling with people that I met from all over. And of course, none of this was without struggles in between. So there's a lot of things to think about here. Your budget, the region of the world, the types of activities you want to do, the weather, the convenience, the list goes on. So after all of my experience traveling solo, I want to help you prepare, which is something that I didn't really do. And let's narrow this down so that I can give you a step-by-step process on how to go about prepping and planning for your first solo trip. The thought of just going off and alone into the world is always gonna be a scary feeling at first. When you travel alone, you really do become your own best friend. You start relying on yourself, your instincts, and you're wholly pursuing your own interests. And that is where the greatness happens. On my first solo trip, I remember landing in Copenhagen and I felt so alone. I was spending so much time on social media, feeling FOMO from what my friends and my family were doing back home. And here I was in one of the coolest and greatest countries in the world, and I couldn't even get my mind right. And honestly, I felt really low. I was like, did I make the right decision? I could just go back at any point in time, go back to California and figure things out from there. But instead of giving up and hoping something would happen for me, I decided I needed to make the best of this situation that I decided for myself. And that's when I started meeting people. I found places where I could really get into the social community in Copenhagen. I ended up asking my family and friends back in California if anyone knew someone in Copenhagen, and they did. So fast forward 1 month later, I was leaving Copenhagen after making so many friends, and I was on my way to Egypt because I had made connections in Cairo. I had been dreaming about going to Egypt since I was a kid. It seemed like a place that was completely unattainable for me. And having made it to Egypt so much sooner than I thought reminded me that life is too short not to chase your dreams. And in my first month of solo travel, I realized that the world is not a scary place and that most people on this planet are decent human beings. So how do you choose where to go? You might want to consider somewhere where there are also a lot of solo travelers. When I've traveled alone, I've gone around Southeast Asia, Central America, Europe, Western and Eastern. because these places get a lot of solo travelers, and like Southeast Asia, Central America, and Eastern Europe are cheaper areas to travel to, so it's best for your budget. The biggest consideration here is your finances. Once you've decided on where you want to go, make a really solid savings plan and hold yourself accountable. You got to be honest with yourself, because the only way you're going to be able to do this solo adventure is if you have the finances. So cut back on spending as much as you can. Think about what you're actually spending money on. What are luxuries that you can completely cut out? Like maybe going out to eat a lot, or a gym membership, or cut back shopping completely. By eliminating frivolous spending, you will be closer to making yourself richer in experiences that you will have on your travels. All right, let's talk about how you pack for this. You need to get yourself one of these. It's a backpacking backpack. This is going to be your most essential item for your solo trip. These backpacking packs have a lot of storage area, and when you do get one, try out a few of them and make sure that they sit comfortably on your waist. When you're solo traveling, you want things to go as smoothly as possible, make things as convenient as possible. So make sure to pack light, and I recommend just always have a carry-on. It's the easiest, most convenient way of travel. It gives you the convenience of walking from place to place if you need to, or taking a motorbike taxi somewhere, and you can easily keep track of everything. Another essential packing item that you're gonna need for your solo trip are packing cubes. These make your life so much easier, seriously. So you can separate all of your clothes, and you won't have to take all of the items out of your backpack just to look for one piece of clothing and then shove them back in a really unorganized way. Just being organized on your trips is really important. Another packing organizer you should get is this, a little cord charger organizer. I bought this at Green Hills in Manila, and I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. It bears repeating that staying organized on your trips is so important. So just try to make everything convenient and easy to find for yourself. For more detailed packing tips for females, I made a video a while back called How to Pack Super Light for 30 Days of Travel, which I've linked on this screen and down below. So make sure you save that video for reference later. My biggest fear traveling solo was not about whether the place I was going to was safe, and the reason I say that is because everywhere in this world, no matter where you go, will have its threats. But my biggest fear was loneliness, and I had no idea how easy it was going to be to make friends. I met a lot of people, a lot of solo female travelers who I ended up spending days with, and we really made incredible experiences together. So the best way to approach the travel aspect of traveling alone is to stay in places that have high ratings for being social. So like hostels or backpackers accommodations. It's guaranteed that you will meet people and you'll learn how to connect with different people. But one tip that I can share with you that will hopefully make things easier is genuinely be interested in meeting other people, because it opens so many doors, not just friendships, and so many more adventures. Take a genuine interest in their culture, and the most important thing is remember things about them, but also remember their name. And if you want to be extra cautious, you can add them on social media. Everyone has at least one social media these days, and you can kind of look through their social media and check to see if they're a normal person, and think of it as like a friend resume. Staying safe is going to be your friends and most definitely your family's biggest concerns on your solo journey, but traveling alone is not as risky as your parents think it is. There are certain precautions you can take to feel more relaxed and enjoy your experience. Think of the things that you already do to stay safe and apply that when you're traveling. For example, always know your surroundings. Of course, you need to research the area that you're going to and make sure that you know the customs, the environment, and the dangers. When you feel like something is off, when you have a gut feeling that there's something wrong about the situation, then follow your instincts and stop whatever you're doing or leave. You're allowed to change your mind when you feel uncomfortable. Make sure you're making your own decisions and not having anyone else coerce you into doing something that you might feel hesitant about. Don't get intoxicated on a night out alone. Don't walk through dark streets or dark alleyways alone. If you're walking at night and you're not in a public place, take those headphones out of your ears. Do not walk with blaring music or even a podcast or something in your ears because you need to be able to hear everything that's going on. Be street smart and make sure that you have family or friends knowing where you are. So tell them where your hostels are, wherever your accommodations are. Make sure that someone, at least a few people, know your itinerary and where you're going to be on certain days. For me personally, my parents are always tracking me on the iPhone, whatever it's called, like Find Friends, because I'm okay with having them know where I'm at all times. In fact, I have my parents following me and a few friends, so they know where I'm at wherever I'm out in the world, because half the time I'm alone and half the time I'm with people. They don't really know when I'm traveling alone anymore, and I am often traveling alone, so I just make sure that like everyone knows where I'm at. So with all that said, be open to positivity and don't assume that everyone is out to get you. I can honestly say that the only bad experience I've had was in my hometown in San Francisco because I let my guard down. I was walking alone at 2 a.m. with a girlfriend of mine. We were walking back from a bar and she ended up getting mugged, and it was a really, really awful, scary experience. Now when I travel alone, which is more often than not, I rarely even think about safety because most of the people that I've come across have been incredibly friendly, welcoming, and very helpful. But that doesn't mean that I ever let my guard down, even now when I'm in my hometown in San Francisco. Such harm can come from anywhere, and now it really doesn't make a difference for me wherever I am in the world. Whether that's walking in San Francisco, or traveling solo in Pakistan, or exploring the Philippine Islands alone, or skipping around Egypt by myself on my first solo trip. Traveling solo, going on planes, going through different airports on layovers, taking the metro into the cities, going out and eating by myself at different restaurants gave me the space to just be myself. I didn't have to worry about what anyone else wanted. The introspective moments that occurred on my exploratory walks throughout the cities were life-changing, and I remember those thoughts so vividly, and to a large degree helped me to get where I am today as a travel influencer. And as I continue to take solo trips, I gain powerful insights that stay with me, and I get inspired with new ideas. I am here to tell you that you are far stronger, capable, self-reliant, and wiser than you probably think. So stop overthinking it and just do it. If you guys have any questions about solo travel, drop them down below and let me know if this at all hopefully influenced your decision to finally go out and do it all on your own. By the way, you can totally stay connected with me. You can follow me on Instagram and ask me any questions. I answer DMs all the time, or refer back to this video. Either way, I'm telling you, it will be a life-changing experience and something that you literally will never regret. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching me, and until next time, take on the world.